Boom. Let's see what we got going on here. We're just getting connected.
So sorry.
It's Coach, y'all. It's Coach Solomon, Psycho Fitness, just tapping in. So check this out. Today's Talk About Tuesday is why focusing on the scale is never sustainable, never going to do you justice in the long term, right? I'm bringing this topic up because it is January 2021, brand new year, brand new you. I have a ton of folks, a lot of folks who are starting to focus on their weight loss journey, looking to shed those COVID pounds, and rightfully so, right? And I'm here for you as a coach, as a trainer. Want to see you succeed. Sincerely want to see you succeed. So I have folks who will come to me and like, Coach, or they'll mention, Coach, I'm looking to lose these 20 pounds. That's my goal. I put on 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds last year, and I just want to lose that 20. And I'm like, that's cool. Let's get going. But rather than focusing on losing the 20, rather than focusing on the scale and weighing yourself obsessively, let's focus on the lifestyle changes that we need to make to get you feeling better and moving stronger. Because when we focus on the scale and we focus on the number, what we end up doing is creating an environment mentally in our mind and just in our energy system. We create an environment of panic. Like, I have to get to this number by this date. So what that does is it creates a sense of urgency, puts you in a position where you have this self-pressure, where you're more than likely or more susceptible to doing something that is detrimental to your health. For example, I need to lose 15 pounds. I need to lose that last 15 pounds now. I put on 20 pounds during COVID. I've lost 5 pounds. I need to lose 15. I weigh myself every day. Weight's not going down fast enough. I just heard of this new fast or this new flush or this new whatever you call it, where you drink vinegar, water, and lemon juice every day. I just need to get to this weight. Well, you go on some of these crazy detoxes or crazy flushes, you will lose that weight. And then you will gain that weight right back, because you can't live in that habit or that lifestyle of just eating nothing or eating something crazy. But I know you're like, no, Coach, it's just a short-term fix. I just need to get to that weight, and then I'll eat healthy, I'll do X, Y, and Z, then I'll work out. I would tell you that if those are all the things that you're going to do after the flush, once you just start doing those things now, because you're going to have to live in those rituals, those habits, you're going to have to live in that condition. So rather than focusing on the scale and trying to drive towards a particular number, I'm going to tell you to take inventory of how you feel and how you look. And if you're not happy there, take inventory of the lifestyle that you have and where can you make changes in 3 areas, right? And I'm going to get to those 3 areas where you should be making changes. When we focus on the number, generally what I've seen consistently is that when people are focusing on a number, they are focusing on the number from their past, when they felt their best, moved their best, and in their mind looked their best. For example, 3 years ago, I weighed 225 pounds. At that time, I could still dunk a basketball. I couldn't, but I'm just saying, hypothetically. I could run my fastest. I could beat everyone on my street and running. You name it, right? I could bench press 500 pounds when I weighed 225 pounds. All I need to do is get back to 225. If I could just get to 225, life would be great. That's the picture that we paint in our minds. I've done it myself. I'm going to tell you, it's wrong. It is never the same. That might be the number from your past, but you are not that person from your past in many ways. So you remember the number and you associate that number from your past with a feeling or an emotion. What I want you to do is associate that number with the lifestyle that you were living when you were weighing that whatever that perfect weight is in your mind. So, for example, in that same example, if I was 225, feeling my best, moving my best, what was I eating, right? What was my activity level? And even something else we don't think about, what was my metabolism? So that number in the past represents all those things that you were doing. If you're trying to get back to that number, start with the lifestyle. Well, coach, I was more active at 225. I worked out 6 days a week. I was running, doing X, Y, and Z. I didn't eat that much. I was in my 20s, coach. I was broke. I ate, I was on a calorie restriction just because I didn't have the money. And then also what we don't consider is your metabolism. You know, back in the day, in your 20s, sometimes even your 30s, your metabolism was here. As we get older, that metabolism comes down. So you can essentially boost your metabolism, but you can't reverse it, right? So what I'm saying is be mindful of all these things when you think of that number from the past. You think of how you looked in the past and you're trying to get back to that. Every year as you go forward, things change, your conditions change. So don't focus on that number, focus on the lifestyle. You may not be able to be as active as you were in your past. You probably have more time. You didn't have this high pressured, high powered job that you have now. As we get older, we tend to take on more responsibility. You may be a wage earner for your family, right? You may have some injuries. You're not as active because you were in a car accident or your back is bad. You name it. Those things aren't barriers, though. What I want you to do is just take an account of the things that you can do in these three areas. Rather than focusing on the scale, let's talk about what you should be focusing on, in my opinion. Three areas. The first thing is your nutrition. It really starts there. What are you eating? Why are you eating it? Is it good for you? Is it the right amount? Those are the questions I want you to ask. Is what I'm eating good for me? Is what I'm eating going to allow me to live a healthy and sustainable life? You don't have to go any further than that most times. You look at your food, you should be able to identify it as food and not as just some processed, maybe, chemical, who knows, made in a lab, right? Look at your food, ask yourself, are there nutrients in there that will help me fight COVID and any other disease? Are there nutrients and minerals in there that are going to help me recover and live longer? Or is this just food that someone made to sell me so that they can make money, right? Look at your food. Do an audit of your nutrition. Are you drinking water primarily, or are you taking in calories, liquid calories that don't benefit you, that dehydrate you? Look at your nutrition, look at your hydration, and then look at your activity level. Once you're done with your nutrition, look for areas where you can improve, one or two areas, and then look at your activity level. How can we raise your activity level? Gyms are locked down. A lot of gyms aren't open, but can you go for a walk? Can you go for a run? Can you go for a hike? Can you go for a bike ride? Maybe you can do more yard work. Maybe you can fold more clothes. Whatever it is, find ways to increase your activity level. Nutrition, activity level, and then something I call lifestyle. What is your lifestyle? Lifestyle things are things that are outside of food and exercise, outside of those two things. For example, are you doing drugs? I know, right? Are you drinking alcohol? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you smoking cigarettes? So those are things outside of food and exercise, because you can do two of those things right, but if your lifestyle isn't conducive to living longer and being healthier, a lot of times those things can do detriment and just negate everything else that you're doing, especially if you're over consuming on alcohol. So rather than focusing on the scale, focus on those three areas that you can improve. Take a hard look in all three of those areas and try to pick at least one of those things that you can improve. Maintain a new habit, improve, get gains and a new habit for at least 3 to 4 weeks. Then take an account of how you feel, how you look. Ask yourself, are you happy with how you feel and how you look? And if not, go back to those three areas and look for improvement. The number on the scale will shake out to be whatever it is. That number will be that number. At the end of the day, you'll focus on the lifestyle changes that you need to make. The number will be what the number will be. The number will go up, it will go down, but focus on how you want to live. And that's a good place to be, as opposed to focusing on a number, because you may do some damaging things just to get to that number. All right, y'all. That's it. That's Coach. I'm out. Let's talk about it Tuesday. Focus on the right things. Focus on the right numbers. Have a good day. Have some fun. Get it done. Boom. I'm up out of here, y'all.